comfort is for 99% of the population. If you want to be in the top 1%, you got to act like you're in top 1%. They act differently. They do different things, right? Otherwise, I think life would be extremely comfortable if we just acted like everyone else. But I know your goal is to become a multimillionaire in a relatively short amount of time. So you cannot expect to do the same things like the rest of the population and expect to reach there.
You always encourage me to push past my comfort zone. And one of the goals that you and I talked about initially was to scale to at least 50,000 consistently a month. I've had a few whales. One I actually was able to catch, so to speak, and that was like 2.5 million.
What is the payment to you on that one?
Well, that's going to be $50,000.
That's going to be $50,000.
$50,000. And then as I build out my team, we're going to scale ourselves close to the billions, man. I project that I'll do $25 million in recovery by the end of this year myself. And the team that I'm planning to build out, we would probably do close to $500 million by the time that's the goal I set. And I'm not changing. This business will give you the 6-figure plus. I guarantee you that. And the reason why I can guarantee you that, because we as a family are not going to let you fail if you put the right efforts. If you do your part, we're going to do our part. And that part is to support you to make sure that you get to that next level. And that's how we operate in this program. We work together as a team.
Hey everyone, Oz Konar here. I am interviewing another person that I really like. As I mentioned on the last one, I'm talking to people that I enjoy talking to from this point on. So we have Austin Smith. He's a member of BLB. He's also has become a good friend. Him and I think we must have talked for over 100 hours, right, Austin? Like week in and week out.
Not more.
If not more. Yeah. So this is going to be a good interview. I don't have anything planned. This is not scripted. Austin doesn't know what we're going to really specifically talk about. We're going to talk about his success, the program. What are you trying to accomplish, Austin, in the next 12 months to 24 months?
We initially started with the BLB Mastermind group, which I'm so thankful to be a part of that. And thank you for accepting me as well. And one of the goals that you and I talked about initially was to scale to at least 50,000 consistently a month. And that would be based on whatever products that either I double down on or let's say zero focus in more than generalizing myself. And so that was the initial goal, was to kind of generate at least 50,000 K per month. I would say by the end, very close to getting that goal reached, especially now with this new product that we have that you gracefully allow us to be a part of, which is the ERC, because you remember you talked about that a long time ago in our Tuesday coaching calls that we would have. And so after you got through vetting some of the processors of the ERC program, we narrowed it down to one particular one. And so that has been a game changer for me personally, because as you always tell us, focus on one thing, right? Kind of put that energy and focus on that one thing. And so initially, me personally, it was a slow start for me, still doing the real estate, lending, and then credit card stacking. It started to kind of shift as I started to get momentum, because in one of our mastermind classes, you kind of gave us some techniques as to how to do the cold emailing, right? And so that the challenge you gave us was email 50 people. I sure did. I got 2 out of that 50 to be part of the ERC program. That was like, wow, this is going to work, right? From there, I had reached out to some of my old clients from past, and of course, some of them qualified. And so right now, that's the momentum for me, Oz, is that, I'm really focused on the ERC, and it's starting to really take off. And as a result of just being consistent, I've had a few whales. One I actually was able to catch, so to speak, and that was like 2.5 million, man. And that was like the big highlight for me. So really it's nonstop right now, right? So, and then of course, I got the team, as you talked to us about in the different modules, kind of build your team of referral partners. And so that's kind of where myself and Jank kind of had a strategy for me to kind of do that while I'm reaching out to clients, potential businesses for the ERCs, also look for referral partners. And so that's taken off. And some of them don't actually want to be a part of, let's say, a structuring thing. So they're allowing me to give them my link. And then they pretty much, if they come across businesses, they shoot the links to them. And so I have to kind of control that. It's kind of where I'm at now, trying to get more management on that, because I do want to make sure that they get the credit for, even if they don't want to be a part of my referral partner team. They still technically are referral partners. They just don't want to go through the formality that is required, so to speak, the signing of my contract and all that kind of stuff. And even when I introduced them to want to be a part of the actual processing company, I don't know if I could say it, they don't want to do that. They rather just use my link. So that's kind of where I'm at now.
Yeah, that kind of diversifies how you make money, right? Although you're staying focused on one thing, within one thing, there's so many different ways to make money through referral partners, going direct and whatnot. So that whale that you got, 2.5 million, what is the payment to you on that one?
Well, that's going to be $50,000.
That's going to be $50,000.
$50,000. I'm telling you, man. So when you got that kind of incentive, and now with the negotiation of us being able to even get more percentage-wise on our efforts, that's why I know as a team and as an individual, well, when I say team, as in BLB community, and then as my team, as I build out my team, we're going to scale ourselves close to the billions, man, by the time this program is over. Me personally, and you always encourage me to push past my comfort zone. And then you always say, don't adjust your goal. Just keep going. So I literally, Oz, I project that I'll do $25 million in recovery by the end of this year myself. And the team that I'm planning to build out, we would probably do close to $500 million by the time this. That's the goal I set. And I'm not changing it. And that's just with the ERC recovery. That's not even talking about all the other different things that you haven't even brought out to the general population of our group. But in our mastermind group, you talk about a lot of different things that once those things start to come into fruition, that's some of the things that you talked about on the high ticket items. I haven't even counted that part. I'm just talking the ERC.
Well, the number you're talking about, $500 million, it's a part of structured design and a plan, right? It's not like a wishful thinking, oh, that would be great if I can do like $500 million. Like when you reach that level by the end of this program, you're looking at clearing $10 to $20 million, right, for yourself, like in the bank. Right. And it's not like a pie in the sky number. We're kind of building that thread by thread, like member by member, right? This is specifically for just adding more members to your team and growing that. So it's going to happen. It's not like wishful thinking. So it's a part of a system. And I applaud you because you're one of the finest examples of following the system. You do ask questions, but you don't question the path. You just follow it. But as you go through, you ask your questions. You said something super important. Many people set goals and they don't hit the goals, then they change the goals. You don't change the goal, you change the effort. You don't reduce the goal because that's important. Like if you fell short, what are you going to do? You just keep playing with the goals? Like that's not how it works. Like in business, right? And also life, you got to stretch yourself and get to a point of being sometimes totally uncomfortable. But honestly, comfort is for 99% of the population. If you want to be in the top 1%, you got to act like you're in top 1%. They act differently. They do different things, right? Otherwise, I think life would be extremely comfortable if we just acted like everyone else. But I know your goal is to become a multimillionaire in a relatively short amount of time. So you cannot expect to do the same things like the rest of the population and expect to reach there.
Absolutely. And that's what I like about our program. And I'm so thankful. You have no idea. I can't wait to see your team. I still have to give Samantha the ultimate flowers because back in 2020, during the pandemic actually hit, when I decided to join BLB, it was through an email blast that I got from some other individuals that I was a part of group. And so I clicked on it and saw your video. And as you know, you're one of the most sincere individuals that, well, they don't know you like I know you now, right? But you come across, even in your videos, the way I know you now, if that makes sense. And so that resonated with me so much. And that kind of made me make the decision to step out and invest into the program because the sincerity that you put out there in the marketing part of it on YouTube was kind of how I initially saw the video after I clicked on the link. And so when I joined the program, I was like, man, there's a lot of modules, right? And I'm like, okay, I don't think I could do this. So I was kind of discouraged. And then I reached out to support. I spoke to Samantha and I was telling her, I don't think I'm going to really have the time to do all this. She said, Austin, just take your time. It's a lifetime membership. You don't have to rush. Because, most programs like a year, right? You do the program, they cut you off. So that's kind of what I thought, that you guys were the same, right? So when I reached out to her and she said, no, it's a lifetime program, you're a lifetime member. You got any questions, you got total support. She said, in fact, let me let you talk to Jank. At that time, I couldn't pronounce his name, right?
Yeah.
So I was saying Jank. And so I talked to Jank, and I told Jank my story about how I was already doing, business credit and stuff like that with clients. And he just kind of gave me a game plan at that time in the very beginning stage, right? And didn't even know me, just casually talk. Now I know him very well. He's a little brother to me, so that to me gave me the push, like he's saying, to kind of put myself in a position where I can change my life and that of my family. And I think that was the ultimate goal. And then, like I say, I was on all the Tuesday calls, and you dropped nuggets so much. It was like I was just picking them up, like gold, trying to put them in my pocket real quick so I don't lose them, Again, I have to give you the credit. And the reason why I said it, because if it had not been for you providing us the tools, my goal, as you know, in this ERC, there are younger cats doing it already at $500 million and even $1 billion. So we know it's attainable. And now that you're providing us the tools, we got the Apex now. So all these things are streamlining the process. Like you said, it's giving us the system. And the system is what's going to produce the results. And that's why I can say confidently, I see us killing this, hands down. I mean, we talk a lot in our group, the mastermind group. I've met some wonderful people. So got a great relationship there. We got some high ticket items there as well. So that's one of the blessings of being in the mastermind group. And I will encourage anyone who has the opportunity to do so. Even in the beginning stages, that's one of the things that I should have saw the insight to say, let me do it now. But I'm thankful of now. Don't get me wrong. The timing is now. I think the right time was now, because all this now makes total sense.
Dude, everyone has their own time, right? It's okay. As long as you stay connected to the system, your time is going to come. And like you said, you went through that phase. People go through this phase, which is normal. They go through the phase of doubt. Usually it's the self-doubt or the doubt of the system. And some people drop out at that point. Others kind of stay in. Members who've been with us like 4 or 5 years. They're still in. They're in the community. They join the calls, right? So when you make a decision to do something, that's a decision for that moment. But then as you go through something, you make micro decisions that determine the outcome in the next 24 months to 48 months. And I've been watching your transformation through that, right? So now, you were in the BLB, you were on every weekly call, and I didn't even know who you were. Like, I never seen you before in person, but I knew that I can count on Austin to be there to support other members and ask questions sometimes on behalf of the other new members, because they wouldn't come out and ask questions. It was okay to do that. So watching that, then you were part of the mastermind, and you were with me for 2 days in Miami recently at our ERTC event. You were in the same room with a billionaire and someone who just bought a bunch of sports cars and making millions of dollars. And that was an experience. As you can see, we're building the structures of this cathedral, and there are phases to it, right? It takes time to build it, a lot of dedication, a lot of work for the greater good of all in our community. Because as you know, our mastermind is like totally transparent. I talk about everything. Like, there is no filter, nothing. The things that happen, things that are happening, things that will happen.
Right. Because you hold us accountable if we don't do what you tell us to do.
Exactly. So that's the way that we grow. Yeah, I know that we're living in times that everyone they just want to be comfortable. But I beg to differ, saying that, yes, we all work hard to live a comfortable lives, but I think we're responsible for the information that we acquire. Whenever you learn something new, it gives you a responsibility. You have to pay it back, meaning that you started a business, you learned about ERTC, you have a responsibility to act on it. Otherwise, how are you different than like a freaking search engine if you just know stuff? It's useless, right? Unless you act on it. People don't have any need for information anymore. And all the information is kind of out there. They need help. They need individuals like you to lead other people. And that gives all of us a sense of responsibility for us to act on what we know. You always tell me, oh, you're sharing so much. Oh, that's awesome. I think it's not a question of whether I want to share or not. I think it's a responsibility thing. I must share so others can see it. Even if I can help someone improve their lifestyle and their finances by 1%, and if I did not share that, that would have been on me, right? So I'll share it either way. Whoever wants to pick up, they'll pick up. And that's how I learn from others too. So yeah, what you've been doing in this community is so important for us. Just want to let you know.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And I do attend Shank's calls. He has a coaching call as well.
Nice.
And so we're some of the regulars there, and it's the same thing. It's like a family, a small family. I got a feeling it's going to be pretty big, so I don't know how we're going to do it.
No, we're growing, and we're going to keep growing. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
I
what
guess
we
we just
do
have
is
to kind
not
of,
for everyone, obviously, Austin, right? So many people want to start
right.
a business. They want to be an entrepreneur. We don't want everyone because we want to protect the culture that we have here. And we want to make sure that we grow with the right people who have the growth mindset, who can take accountability and responsibility for their lives. Who do you think this is a good fit for?
That's a great question. Personally, I think it's a good fit for those who can come in, be disciplined, and be teachable. I think the key is unlearn a lot of the things that you think you know and be willing to learn things that you never knew. And being teachable is giving you the ability to understand and ask the right questions. And when I say right questions, because really it's not a wrong question with our group and with our team, the Facebook group, as you know, you could throw a question out there. But what I'm saying by that is how you say to us, learn what you can learn. And that way you can ask the questions on what you don't know.
Mm.
But at least take the effort to learn it. And so you can ask more intelligent questions as more involved you get in whatever that is that you don't understand. So I think that being teachable, being disciplined, and having an entrepreneurial spirit is just basically being able to be patient and withstand the trials and tribulations that would come. Like I was sharing with you about my discouragement and how Samantha was able to say, hey, Austin, just trust me on this. Take your time. It's not going anywhere. And just know that too, because in our program, and I say ours because I'm part of the family now, it's like a university. Our modules constantly get updated. We don't necessarily have to have a lot of different vendors. We have the right lenders. We have the right ones. And so I think as we start to evolve more, it's going to require that same mindset of new students to come in and see that this is the opportunity to change their lives and those who they affect with the different products and services that we offer.
That's 100% true, man. You nailed it, because the goal is not to put someone into like a stagnant system, right? Where just go in and it's a grind. It is to change, because change is the only thing that doesn't change, I guess, right? So you have to go through change to grow. If what you know brought you here, are you totally satisfied with that? If not, can you afford to continue with what you're doing without any change? Because ultimately, there are consequences of every decision. Whether you change or not, you're going to pay the price. The price could be liberation, at least from like financial burdens and the problems, and you have the time freedom. Like we have members who literally moved to other countries. Like you met Chris, right? In Miami.
Right.
I didn't notice, but a few years ago, he actually talked to me on the phone before he joined. Now he lives in Mexico and he travels. Like if you go to his Instagram, he's traveled like so many places. He's living that nomad lifestyle because someone talked to them about the opportunity. So I feel privileged that we have so many amazing members. And I think I gave the good news today that we scheduled another trip with another partner of ours, fully paid by our partners. We're going to be at their office. They have 150 employees. It's a major lending partner for us. And they're going to pretty much drop everything they're doing and train our members for 2 straight days. So would an individual be able to do that on their own? Like, can you knock on the door of a company that does billions of dollars in funding and be like, hey, can I just walk in and can you guys give me like a customized training for 3 days straight? I don't think anyone would say yes. They would call you crazy, right? Community gives strength. Like we're growing our community and that gives us leverage. And these partners respect us and what we do. And they invite us. Like these people have been asking us to be there. And we have other partners who are kind of lining up. And all of that is possible because we work with the right people who are like ambitious, driven. And like you said, I think that one of the most important qualities that I like in all the students that we have is the coachability, teachability aspect, right? If you walk into any place thinking that you know everything, well, that shows you're going to learn pretty fast that you know nothing. If your glass is full, you can't fill it. If your glass is empty, you can fill yourself, but the overflow you share with other people. But you got to walk in with the half glass or just a half of glass or no water in it. So that's our approach. But yeah, man, I don't want to take a lot of your time. So Austin is an expert in a couple of areas. He even coaches other people in our communities, the ERTC. Just a brief summary, ERTC is Employee Retention Tax Credit. So if you had W-2 employees through the pandemic and if you kept them, there is likelihood that you might qualify for a tax credit from IRS. And it's likely that your accountant didn't even talk to you about it yet. So Austin is one of the experts in our community. If you're listening to this and if you know businesses or if you are a business yourself with employees, we're going to put his link in the description of this video. Check it out. Obviously, you can see that he's a very cool guy and he helps so many businesses. You can be one of those. So you can check out and connect with him and have him help you out. Any closing thoughts, Austin?
I would say that this is an opportunity that, again, will change your life. And not just because of the ERTC, but just because you're dealing with a family of lenders as well as brokers. And this program that we have, Business Lending Blueprint, gives you the blueprint, literally, how to get to the next level and scale your business from a six-figure to $1 million+ business a year. You know, right now, that's my goal. And as Oz mentioned, you don't necessarily have to be in the mastermind group, but it does help to be in the mastermind group. So my closing argument is that once he opens that opportunity for any of your new ones that want to join, I say join no matter what stage you at, because other minds in this mastermind group will elevate you to the level that you need to be, especially if you see that vision for yourself. If you want to just, you know, kind of make 20,000, 30,000, that's fine. That's great. That's better than 50% of the population who's living check to check. It's still going to give you the opportunity. This business will give you the six-figure plus. I guarantee you that. And the reason why I can guarantee you that, because we as a family are not going to let you fail if you put the right efforts. No. If you do your part, we're going to do our part. And that part is to support you to make sure that you get to that next level. And once that's done, then it's a slam dunk, because now you can share that same information to others. And that's how we operate in this program and in this community. We work together as a team.
How many times do you think we had aha moments throughout the year?
How about every time we get on the call, Oz? I mean, every time I get on the call, I think we have aha moments. You know, like the last call on the hiring, that whole way that you gave that understanding as to how to get the right people and how to not make them feel bad, how to talk to them in a way that they can see their own error if they choose to make that change, and not tell them that you suck, you know, but no, hey, you know, maybe this is not what you really want to do. Kind of think about it, take some time off and kind of focus on that. Who does that? I mean, that's game changer right there, because now you got a person for life.
Yeah,
who will always remember you as a person that, you know what, he gave me the opportunity, and he even told me, hey, it's on you. Make that decision. I'm not going to say you're a bad person because you have done great. Who does that, Oz? Who does that? Mm-hmm. And that's why you're growing. That's why your business, as I told you, it's up there, billions, man. You know that. I told you, I'm with you until Christ come back or I fall asleep in the process. You know?
Wow, that's a huge process. That's a huge promise.
I'm with you, man. That. You know I'm with you.
People like you kind of push me every single day, right? So the business is complicated. You have up days and down days, and we're aggressively growing, because you can get to a point just through hustle. You just hustle your ass off. But from a certain point and on, you cannot get to that next level that you're talking about without other people. That's just so important. You need to have a very strong community, and these people need to be connected, similar to how you are. And I'm great that we're creating this melting pot for people like you to come together and build camaraderie, brothership, sistership, whatever you call that. And we're going there together, right? So we're doing this every single day. Again, love you, brother. Great to have you in this
love you too. Absolutely.
Community. Absolutely. You're awesome. We have so many awesome people. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, you're my brother for life, man. And just know that you're the GOAT of all times, right?
Oh, thank you.
So I definitely give you your flowers there. You got to give it to you while you're here. You know what I'm saying? So
appreciate
thank you. I appreciate it.
Good talking to you.
All right. Love you too. Talk to you soon.
Take care. Bye-bye.